Madhava Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivara Dhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivara Dhari Yashodanandana Vrajajana Randana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Randana Yamuna Tira Vanasari Yamuna Tira Vanasari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivara Dhari Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivara Dhari Yashodanandana Vrajajana Randana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Randana Yamuna Tira Vanasari Yamuna Tira Vanasari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe, Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe, Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Shupad Paramahamsa Parivradakacharya Stotarasatya Sri Srimad His Divine Grace Shirabai Charan Arvind Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Skandi Biti Founder Charya's Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Harinam Sankirtan Ki Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Daini Tagore Pimarande all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Sri Guru and to Sri Gauranga, all glories to Sri Prabhupada Ki. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Taksuranmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Parakamalam Sri Gurun Vaisnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tvam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakan Vitam Shyam Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vansakalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Narayanam Namaskritya Dharam Shaiva Narotamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is our very means of conquest, let us first offer our respectful obeisances unto Narayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta prayasa badreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Tamasloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. By regularly hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam and by rendering a service unto the pure devotee, all that is troublesome within the heart becomes destroyed or practically to nil, and loving devotional service unto the Supreme Lord, who is praised with transcendental songs, becomes established as an irrevocable fact. Idam Bhagavatam Nama Puranam Brahmasamitam Uttama Shloka Charitam Sakara Bhagavan Rishi Nishreyasaya Lokasya Dhanyam Swasyayanam Mahat. This Srimad Bhagavatam, known as the Grantaraj, the king of all Vedic literatures, is the literary incarnation of God. It is compiled by the incarnation of God as Srila Vyasadeva. It is meant for the ultimate good of all people. It is all successful, all blissful, and all perfect. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare
Rama
Hare.
Rama, Hare
Om
Hare.
Namo Bhagavate
Om
Vasudevaya.
Namo Bhagavate
Om
Vasudevaya.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Sarabhyai
Om
Namaha.
Surabhyaya Namaha.
Om Sarabhyai
Om
Namaha.
Surabhyaya Namaha.
Om Sarabhyai
Om
Namaha.
Surabhyaya Namaha.
Mukam karoti vasalam pangom langayate girim. Yat kripa tamaham bande Sri Gurum Dinataranam. Yat kripa tamaham bande Sri Gurum Dinataranam. Hare Krishna. Bienvenue, welcome. It just crossed my mind that actually every morning you have to speak with Aravind Prabhu and he will speak to our friend, Mr. Krishna Ghosh. Devotees should take turn in making cakes, cow cake. Who knows how to make cow cake? Ah, yes? You have, before you have cows. Now you have cows. Before. Okay. Because we have every day dung, cow dung, bull dung. And most of the cow dung is meant to be put on the wall, actually, the back side and this side. I think they started already. You can mention that now to Radhavin Prabhu, that he will select one devotee at random. You know, Kansa was learning how to make cow patties, you know, and the whole story about that. So yeah, every day one devotee for, 10, 15 minutes, because this is the time that they take out the cow dung, and just for 10, 15 minutes. It's part of the Bhagavatam class.
You can choose any devotee for
Any devotee, any devotee, yeah. Everyone should have a taste of what it means to be a Gopala. Right?
Start from today.
Huh?
Start from now.
Yes. And our first volunteer is Kipa Mayapur. He got up first. And any guests or visitors who come.
How do you make them?
Well, that's the whole idea, is that you have to, it's a whole science. It's a very simple science.
Say very little. Just too general.
Yeah, you have to make a ball. You have to make a ball, and you have to know how to put it on the wall. Usually actually there's documentaries of Matajis in villages. I saw a couple of them, because they do it every day, and there's a tall wall, and they just expert like that.
Is he going to make them now?
Yeah. Anyway,
But it will become smelly.
well, there is, it's called gukula, not gukula. Cows have a natural, healthy cow dung has a natural aroma. Pleasant, very nice. Yeah. I mean, we wash our body,
Yes, yes, yes.
wash our body with cow dung. You know that?
Huh?
Yeah. Cow dung is pure and makes us our body pure. So anyway, this is advanced level of Bhagavatam, learning how to make
Yeah.
practical application. You can go and you can explain that this was a unanimous resolution passed this morning.
Which wall you want to use?
Huh?
Because maybe they use not proper wall.
Oh, he knows which wall, which remind him that the wall on the north side, in the back of the Gita Patsala, and all this wall here, but not the east wall, right? All the wall except the east wall. Go for it. So we are continuing to read from Srimad Bhagavatam, not more than 20 minutes. Yeah. From Canto number 1, chapter 19, which is entitled The Appearance of Shukadeva Goswami. We are practically this is the last chapter of this canto, first canto. There are 40 verses in this chapter, and we are today reading 32?
31.
31, huh? Okay, 31. Yes. Prashantam asinam akunta medasam munim nripo bhagavato vyupetya pranamya murdna vahitaha kritang jalir natva gira sunritaya anvaprichat prasantam asinam akuntamedasam munim nripo bhagavato vyupetya pranamya murdna vahita pitanjalir natva gira sunritayan vaprichat prashantam asinam akuntamedasam munim nripo bhagavato vyupetya pranamya murna vahita pitanjalir natva gira sunritayan vaprichat prashantam asinam akuntamedasam munim nripo bhagavato vyupetya pranamya murdna vahita kritanjalir natva gira sunritayan vaprichat prashantam asinam munim nripo bhagavato vyupetya pranamya murna vahita pitanjalir natva gira sunritayan vaprichat
Prashantam asinam akuntamedasam.
Prashantam asinam akuntamedasam.
Munim dripo bhagavato bhupetya.
Munim nripo bhagavato vyupetya.
Pranamya murdhanavahitam kitanjali.
Pranamya murna vahita pitanjalir.
Natva gira sundra sunta sundrito yanva prichat.
Natva giri sandritayan vaprishyat.
Prashantamasi namakuntamedasam
Prashantamasi namakuntamedasam.
Munim Ripo Bhagavato Bhupetya
Munim nripo bhagavato vyupetya.
Pranmaya Murthna Vahita Kritanjalir
Pranamya murna vahita kritanjalir.
Natva Gira Sunitayan Vaprichat
Natva gira sundritayan vaprishyat.
Prasantam Asinam Akunthamedasam
Prashantam asinam akuntamedasam.
Munim Ripo Bhagavato Abhupetya
Munim nripo bhagavato vyupetya.
Pranamya Murdhana Vahitaha Kritanjali
Pranamya murna vahita kritanjalir.
Natva Girashu Nityanvapiksha
Natva gira sundritayan vaprishyat.
Prasantam asinam akuntamedasam
Prashantam asinam akuntamedasam.
munim nripo bhagavato abhyupetya
Munim nripo bhagavato vyupetya.
pranamya murdana vahita kritanjali
Pranamya murna vahita kritanjalir.
ratva giraso nrityan vaprichat
Natva gira sundritayan vaprishyat.
Prasantam asinam akuntamedasam
Prasantam asinam akuntamedasam.
nripo bhagavato bhupetya
Munim nripo bhagavato vyupetya.
Pranamya murdana vahita kritanjali
Pranamya murna vahita kritanjalir.
Gira sunrutayam vaprushat
Nadva gira sundritayan vaprishyat.
Prashantamasi Namakuntamedasam
Prasantamasi namakuntamedasam.
Munim Ripo Bhagavato Abhupetya
Munim nripo bhagavato vyupetya.
Pranamya Murdhana Vahita Kritanjalir
Pranamya murna vahita kritanjalir.
Natva Gira Sundatayan Vapriksha
Natva gira sundritayan vaprishyat. Prashantam. Perfectly pacified. Asinam. Sitting. Akunta. Without hesitation. Medasam. One who has sufficient intelligence. Munim. Unto the great sage. Nripaha. The king. Maharaj Parikshit. Bhagavataha. The great devotee. Abhyupetya. Approaching him. Pranamya. Bowing down. Murdna. His head. Avahitaha. Properly. Krita Anjali. With folded hands. Natva. Politely. Gira. By words. Sunritaya. In sweet voices. And the Prishchat. Inquired. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. The sage Sri Shukadeva Goswami sat perfectly pacified, intelligent, and ready to answer any question without hesitation. The great devotee, Maharaj Parikshit, approached him, offered his respects by bowing before him, and politely inquired with sweet words and folded hands. Kindly repeat. The sage Sri Shukadeva Goswami
The sage Sri Sukadeva Goswami
sat perfectly pacified,
sat perfectly pacified,
intelligent and ready
intelligent and ready
to answer any question
to answer any question
without hesitation.
without hesitation.
The great devotee,
The great devotee,
Maharaj Parikshit,
Maharaj Parikshit,
approached him,
approached him,
offered his respects
offered his respects
by bowing before him,
by bowing before him,
and politely inquired
and politely inquired
with sweet words
with sweet words
and folded hands.
and folded hands.
Purport. The gesture now adopted by Maharaj Parikshit of questioning a master is quite befitting in terms of scriptural injunctions. The scriptural injunction is that one should humbly approach a spiritual master to understand the transcendental science. Maharaj Parikshit was now prepared for meeting his death, and with the very short time of 7 days, he was to know the process of entering the kingdom of God. In such important cases, one is required to approach a spiritual master. There is no necessity of approaching a spiritual master unless one is in need of solving the problems of life. One who does not know how to put questions before the spiritual master has no business seeing him. And the qualification of the spiritual master is perfectly manifested in the person of Shukadeva Goswami. Both the spiritual master and the disciple, namely Sri Shukadeva Goswami and Maharaj Parikshit, attained perfection through the medium of Srimad Bhagavatam. Shukadeva Goswami learned Srimad Bhagavatam from his father, Vyasadeva, but he had no chance to recite it. Before Maharaj Parikshit, he recited Srimad Bhagavatam and answered the questions of Maharaj Parikshit unhesitatingly. And thus, both the master and the disciple got salvation. Translation again. The sage Sri Shukadeva Goswami sat perfectly pacified, intelligent, and ready to answer any question without hesitation. The great devotee, Maharaj Parikshit, approached him, offered his respects by bowing before him, and politely inquired with sweet words and folded hands. So we have come to the point where Parikshit Maharaj, who already knows that within 7 days, due to the curse of the Brahmana boy, will be leaving his body, will be meeting the critical moment in life, means the moment of death. And here it is nicely explaining how this we read in the last few days. Although so many great personalities were there, with the appearance of Shukadeva Goswami, everyone, including, of course, Maharaj Pariksit, recognized and accepted Shukadeva Goswami as that person who is meant to speak. And here we get a glimpse of the mood and mentality that one needs to have in approaching such a spiritual master. Which of course reminds us of Krishna's direct instructions as well in the Bhagavad Gita. Tad vidi pranipatena pari prashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshinaha. Tattvadarshinaha. Tattvadarshi. Tattvadarshi means one who is able to see, to understand, to realize the tattva, in particular the param tattva. Tattva is a very major subject matter in our Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. And our acharyas, in particular Srila Jiva Goswami and also Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, have specialized in elaborating on the subject matter of tattva. Human form of life is actually meant to clearly and fully understand the meaning of tattva. Tattva, of course, means what is the absolute truth. So, in the purport, Srila Prabhupada very nicely explains, if we if we have no understanding or no interest in wanting to solve the real problems of life, which are summarized, of course, in the Bhagavad Gita as Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi, then we have no business approaching the spiritual master. It's just like who generally goes to see a doctor? Those who understand that there's something that's not right. We have some pain, we have some uneasiness, we're suffering. Only such people go and see doctor. Healthy people don't go and see doctor. So it is only in the human form of life that we can begin to understand our uneasy situation. Uneasy situation means so many things that we don't want, that we don't plan for, especially bad things that cause us, that cause or bring us suffering, and we're forced to accept them. So this is outlined here by Srila Prabhupada, how Parikshit Maharaj, which is naturally to be expected because his whole life was a life of devotee, life of a devotee. And therefore he knew, and Prabhupada makes a point that how he approached Shukadeva Goswami in terms of folding his hands, in terms of bowing his head, in terms of speaking sweet words, in terms of having that humble mentality, it is all based on Shastra. It means all that we do both in terms of spiritual life as well as material activities is meant to be based or should be based on Shastra. The word prescribed duties is mentioned both in the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. The very word duty is directly connected with dharma. That's why unless one knows about dharma, one will not understand what his duties are. And duties are also connected with law, isn't it? Dharma. Dharma means is translated. That is part of the beauty of the Sanskrit language. It conveys different meanings, all of which are bona fide. Duty, responsibility, to some extent religion, and also law. And therefore dharma is what is most scientific, because the laws of nature, which are created by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, are perfect and complete. And therefore, the laws are being perfect and complete are unchanging. So here we get some nice understanding, nice description of who is qualified. In other words, one must be qualified. One must learn some preliminary or develop some preliminary qualifications to even approach the spiritual master. And of course, at the end of the purport, Prabhupada also points out what Srila Rupa Goswami is part of what he explains in his Nectar of Devotion, the 9 activities of bhakti or devotional service, beginning with Sravanam Kirtanam. Sravanam, hearing, and Kirtanam, speaking. These are the beginning activities of pure devotional service, and the most important also. Because Sravanam Kirtanam, as nicely demonstrated here in this pastime of Parikshit Maharaj and Shukadeva Goswami, is what we should be doing throughout our whole life, and especially at the end of life. And it is Krishna's arrangement that when one gets very old, anyone over 40 will begin to understand these things. Maybe under 40, we don't think about that too much. But by nature's arrangement, after 40 or so, things start happening to the body. It's called the dwindling stage of life. Who's over 40 here? Okay, yes. So there are 6 phases in life, isn't it? What are the 6 phases of life? We are born, then we grow, then we produce some byproducts. We stay
No,
for
being
we,
stabilized.
Also stabilize.
we stabilize. We grow. We stay for some time,
Yeah. And
And-
then further
Then reproduce.
and then byproducts, children, and
declination.
then the very nice term that Prabhupada uses, dwindling.
Deteriorate.
We could say crumbling also.
Crumbling.
Like buildings crumble, but human beings, the body, dwindling. Huh?
Curling. All the skin curling.
Yes, so many things. Dwindling stage, and what is the last stage?
Nam Satya.
Yes. Then leaving the body. So, so before that critical moment arrives, then hearing, the point I was wanting to make is that even though in the last phase or before last phase, even like in the dwindling stage of life, especially in the latter, very, very old age, where, we can't even move our limbs, the hearing is the last, even somebody falls into coma. You know what is coma? Yes. Huh? Unconscious. Yeah. Sometimes people fall in coma for many days, many months, or many years. Yeah. But people in coma are still are still conscious. They can hear. Often they can hear. Yeah. So the what is called Baddha Jeev. Baddha Jeev means conditioned soul. The conditioned souls are compared to someone in coma condition, comatized condition, something. Means unaware. We are unaware of the that we are different from the body, unaware of God, unaware that actually the Lord is seated within the heart, and that there is a particular process and method by which all of that can be awakened. And of course, it is especially through the process of hearing, and we hear from sadhus, isn't it? So therefore, sadhu sangha. And therefore, in the beginning of the Bhagavatam, Srinvatam Swakatha Krishna, Punya Sravana Kirtana, Rijanta Stoya Badrani, Vidunuti Suritsatam. That is meant meant to be the life and soul, actually, of those who are serious, to bring, Prabhupada would use the term, not only solution. They have no manners. I told you to put a sign up. Prabhupada used to use the word to make a permanent solution. Everyone is wanting to make solutions, to bring solutions to the different problems of life. But we know from acharyas that, mostly the so-called solutions that people find or bring, they're not permanent solutions. Yeah, most of the so-called solutions, correct. Most of the so-called solutions that are man-made or man-invented are a cause of increase, actually, the problems. They don't reduce the problems, they increase the problems. Every single activity Every single activity of sense gratification actually increases our suffering, is the cause of our suffering. It's amazing. What we think is bringing us happiness on the material level platform is the cause of further suffering, further entanglement, prolonged suffering and prolonged entanglement in the material world. So the process, which of course which is being adopted here, a very qualified individual, namely Parikshit Maharaj, who, upon hearing this, a curse of a young boy, a little younger than, yes, he took it as good news that he was going to die in 7 days. And here he has that wonderful opportunity of not only being surrounded by so many sages and sadhus, brahmarshis, devarshis, and rajarshis. Yes, he's from Navy background, rajarshi. Navy means kshatriya. So we should be, Vedic culture is producing, is meant to produce brahmarshis, rajarshis, and devarshis. Yeah, by nature, yes, yes. By nature, devotees are also known as or described as demigods.
This verse specially showing the process of becoming, how to produce devarishis. This verse is
How to produce
how
devarshis.
to, educate
Yes,
someone
yes, yes.
for becoming devarishi.
Yes, for becoming, yes, yes. Means everyone is meant to become rishi, saintly, because by nature that is our constitutional position. We are eternal, divine living entities, divinity. Therefore, in the second chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, divinity is, what's the title? Divinity and Divine Service. I believe it's Divinity and Divine Service, where we find many wonderful verses, like the one I was mentioning, Srimvatam Sokatha Krishna. Srimvatam means to hear, Krishna Katha, things either directly connected with Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, or things in relation to Krishna. And of course, everything is in relation to Krishna. Everything is created by Krishna. Everything is meant to be reconnected with Krishna. So very nice a description, very important instructions being conveyed here. How, yes, our acharyas, they give a name of who is the most ideal personality representing these 9 activities of these 9 angas of bhakti, a devotional service. Sravanam means hearing. So Parikshit Maharaj will be hearing for 7 days continuously, non-stop. Sravanam, Kirtanam, and Shukadeva Goswami will also. So the perfect disciple and the perfect teacher, the perfect master. That's why in the context of education, for example, we can learn from this as well, and we can try to convey that to modern day educators, that one can only expect to get the desired result when both the teacher and the disciple are equally qualified in their respective role. And there are 9 qualities that are given for an ideal perfect teacher, and there are 3 qualities that are given for a perfect student. I think we all know them. Yes, but it's good to remind ourselves. What are the 9 qualities for a perfect teacher? 9 qualities for a perfect teacher. Ah, the 9 qualities for a Brahmana. Brahmana means teacher. Brahmana are those who cultivate the science of Brahman and who cultivate what is given in Shastra, which is the science of Vidya, Paravidya, and also the science of Aparavidya. Both are very deep subject matters, actually. Aparavidya, Paravidya means the supreme, Vidya means knowledge, supreme knowledge. The Param Tattva, that's one of the Tattvas. That's the first of 3 Tattvas describing Krishna. That he is not only a Tattva, but he's the Param Tattva. He's a supreme, absolute truth, isn't it? So, Paravidya, whole section of the Vedic literatures is describing, and the culmination of that Param Tattva is in the Srimad Bhagavatam. And then even further elaborated in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, actually. And then in the Vedic literatures, that's why we're here in the material world. We also need to learn to know so many material things, but we should learn those material things based on what is actually described in the Shastra. Apara Vidya means material knowledge, but material knowledge that is connected with or that is utilized in the service of Krishna. So much of material knowledge people can learn at college and university, but if it's not connected with Krishna, it falls in the category of avidya. There's paravidya, aparavidya, and avidya. Most of the knowledge that people have, most of the knowledge that is being taught in colleges and universities, is unfortunately in the category of avidya. So therefore Prabhupada wanted that in the context of Varnashrama college that we teach both paravidya and aparavidya. Then we can have an ideal kind of situation, and we can we can learn and we can appreciate this description that is being presented here in this particular text. Yes. Comments, questions? Yes.
You made a very fun point that whatever is taught in schools, colleges, universities falls broadly in the category of vidya. It seems like they're already disconnected from the Vedic realm, which has both aparavidya and paravidya. They are further deteriorating. The latest is with AI coming. New schools for primary, middle school. They're saying we don't need teachers. You have these AI-based agents who will just give you concepts. So even the idea of teacher is going away.
Is going out of the equation. Eh?
Going out of the equation. And you don't need to even know things. You can just simply ask AI.
Yeah, right. Just press on a button. Whatever problem you have, whatever knowledge you want to have. Yes.
And the unfortunate part of that is because the larger practicing devotees are in that realm, we see devotees coming with Krishna GPT.
Krishna?
Krishna GPT, like they have Chat GPT, so they have built these models on the literature, and you simply ask and you get a response, which it's based on the premise that you don't need a guru. You can just ask Krishna GPT. So that is a very dangerous trend. That is,
The new guru on the block.
yes,
But devotees will say, why can't we use this in Krishna service?
they,
Huh?
they miss the point. The main point again, they say Guru Sadhu Sastra.
Yes.
I think one of the things that really lacking is that many devotees there is a misconception that the sadhu is supposed to repeat what Shastra says, Guru is simply supposed to repeat. Well, they do repeat, but they have a higher function. The purpose of sadhu is to establish how to practice whatever Shastra is saying. And the purpose of Guru tells what the, how you basically, what's the end goal, what is the, how exactly what you will achieve, right? What is the implication? What is the essence? So that is something that you just
Yes.
cannot read through it, right?
In addition, we can also understand that guru, presence of guru, is to establish personal relationship,
Exactly. Yes.
which is not possible with a machine.
Yes, yes. And Prabhupada made a very similar comment. He says, somebody, a disciple asked that we have both person Bhagavat and the book Bhagavat. Why is not the book Bhagavat sufficient?
Ah,
And Prabhupada replied that the book Bhagavat cannot twist your ear.
correct.
So,
Cannot. Yes,
yeah, so the guru is needed to chastise also
yes.
when the disciple is not.
I think our friend Gornitai Prabhu would like to comment on this, maybe. Because he, like many devotees, uh, I'm not so much into that, but sometimes, um, but I think it can be, I think it can be number one, addictive, and number two, it can be ultimately minimizing uh, the need and the importance to actually, it all begins with sambandha,
Mm.
relationship. And relationship, why is it that we are disconnected with Krishna, our original and most important relationship is we have not been able, and that's the problem for most of us in the material world, we have difficulties establishing relationship amongst ourselves, uh, and specifically with the spiritual master, because Shastra is explaining that how to again reestablish, uh, how can we again reestablish our relationship with Krishna? That is done rather through the via medium of Krishna, the spiritual master, and various, you know, um, senior Vaishnavas who are meant to, who are actually representing Krishna and who are meant to evoke within our hearts these natural, eternal, loving exchanges and relationships actually that are meant to be there. Um, and that point is very important. Also, isn't it, that Krishna himself in the Bhagavad Gita explains those who claim to be my devotees are not actually my devotees. My devotees are those who are actually devotees of my devotees, who are, yeah. Definitely, um, therefore, the need, the importance to to do two things. at least, in the context of education, to reestablish and to understand the very deep-rooted meanings that are there in the whole concept of Gurukula. Because Gurukula is that system which Krishna himself follows, even though he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna and Balaram, they also go to Gurukula to show by example. But that's only generally, Gurukula is for the Brahmanas and Kshatriyas. So therefore, what is also needed for learning the basic and same principles that one learns in Gurukula is to have that culture, is to have that Vedic culture. Vedic culture means Vedic lifestyle that will more easily, more directly bring out or evoke this these kind of natural exchanges amongst ourselves, not only amongst ourselves but amongst us and nature, amongst us and other living entities who may not be in the human form of life, especially cows, because that is, Krishna's whole life in Vrindavan, Krishna's whole life in Goloka Vrindavan, in the spiritual world, is surrounded and connected with cows. So that whole, in other words, that's one of the reasons why it is important to re-establish this lifestyle, specifically village lifestyle. Village lifestyle is the lifestyle that Krishna has demonstrated, which is facilitating, because we cannot, in the modern urbanized lifestyle, which is more and more prominent and is being promoted, isn't that the whole modern civilization? It is, I think in one purport Prabhupada mentions, it is killing the finer sentiments of the human being. We become less, the more we deal with machines, we become machine-like. The more we deal with human beings, we become more human-like. So it's a question of association. And definitely modern day society, we're dealing with machines. Most of the occupations of people, including our own devotees, are with machines, which is not at all ideal. We can use, but when we overly use such machines, then it is not at all ideal. It's definitely not in keeping with what we should be doing, what Prabhupada pointed out and wanted us to adopt, the whole concept of we hear it, but we don't hear it. Simple living and high thinking. We hear it, but we don't understand it.
Not because you, called me, but from the beginning, I'm thinking on this verse, one specialty,
One special, okay, yes.
which I mentioned when you started to speak about the speaker's special position. And for me, and please just correct me if not, it looks like here Shukadev Goswami is in a position of learning or becoming perfected by some method. So he's not like a perfected person here in this verse, but who's supposed to become perfect by the method of becoming authority on the Vedas. And in the Prabhupada's purport is that he was listening, he was learning Srimad Bhagavatam from his father, but there was no chance to speak.
Yes.
and that's explain the Bhagavatam to others is a very special process for becoming a leader.
That is true.
And that's why different type of persons have different type of gurukul. Brahmanas and Kshatriyas should learn to answer on the authorities of the Vedas and decide on the authorities of Vedas. Vaishyas not necessarily. Vaishyas have their own understanding on their own field, but they not become such leaders as Brahmanas and Vaishyas, Brahmanas and Kshatriyas. And here we see three qualification mentioned. You mentioned that 9, but here we see this perfectly pacified, intelligent, and ready to answer any question.
Yes.
So these three qualities makes Shukadeva Goswami as a speaker ready to become perfected by kirtanam process. And that's for us also very challenging that we are sitting here not just listening but becoming an authority on the scriptures. And if anyone comes like in the mood of the student, we have to be ready to guide them with these qualifications.
Yes.
And there's different type of perfections, different taste. Can you comment that?
Can you comment on all of these subtleties?
No, I mean there's a new concept or the other concept which I think is here in the verse or the message.
Okay, one or two small things, and then we'll allow others to comment. Uh, we know, of course, Shukadeva Goswami, he was already self-realized, even before taking birth, and he became even more self-realized after hearing Srimad Bhagavatam from Srila Vyasadeva. And because the process of bhakti or devotional service is never ending, ever increasing, so he is also, which is a nice point, an important point you made, that when there's a Bhagavatam discourse going on, the learning process is both for those who are hearing and those who are speaking. So definitely that's an important point, that whoever gives class, he's also learning by that very process, which is actually very important. At the same time, a personality like Shukadeva Goswami, we need to understand it in the proper context. Was
Like Prabhupada also didn't need to have all this process on his life. Listening spiritual master, he's a perfect person, but still he shows example.
yeah. Well, Prabhupada would lecture to the walls sometimes. He would lecture without an audience and record it, because he felt that, well, at some point there will be an audience.
Yeah.
There will be somebody hearing, and it's important. Yeah. Yes, those are important points that these qualifications. Yeah, it's spiritual life is an is an ever ongoing process of deepening more and more our realizations and understandings of the subject matters that are being, discussed. Yeah.